European Commission President. If Ukraine says it needs tanks, it should receive them.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukraine should be provided with all the weapons it needs, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has said. If they say they need battle tanks, then we should take it seriously and deliver them. Ukraine knows exactly what it needs to protect life and defend itself. I am in favor of the European states delivering what Ukraine actually needs. After all, the Ukrainians are proving that they can defend themselves if they have the right military means, von der Leyen said. She recalled that Ukrainians are fighting this fight for all of us. Democracy must win, so it's so important that the country gets all the weapons it needs, she added. According to her, Ukraine also urgently needs financial support. On average, they need $5 billion a month to maintain the essentials, to pay for the hospitals, the schools, the soldiers, or, for example, to keep the police running. That's also important in this war. That's where the EU plays a very big role, she said. Von der Leyen said she was firmly convinced that Ukraine will win the war, because Ukraine has tremendous motivation. They know what they're fighting for. And friends around the world are doing everything to ensure that Ukraine gets the right weapon systems, she said. She held meetings with the country's leadership.
This post received a score of 9,600, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It would be nice to see a Challenger 2 popping the most modern Russian tank like a spot that's ripe to pop on your skin.
Have you seen the size difference between a Chally and AT-72 Damn thing could run them over.
What do they need tanks for? Russia just sent them a bunch, no charge.
Because the enduring image of T-72s being popped by Western tanks will be made into posters and put on the walls of NATO and the West for all of time.
Unironically, seeing Western equipment's effectiveness in combat versus Russia would be a really good source of data to correct deficiencies or make improvements. The only concern would be the leaking of state secrets, technology, and/or capture of said equipment. The U.S. is very protective of the U.S. Army spec Abrams, so people posting about all the Abrams sitting in a desert might want to consider that the U.S. specifically makes export model Abrams that lack specific things for allied nations.
I am guessing they miss the special armor they buy off the British, which the Challenger 2 uses.
They remove the depleted uranium layers in the armor. They may get older version of the Chobham setup, though the newer spec, so-called Dorchester armor, is most likely not for export.
Depleted uranium in the armor? I had never heard of it till I read your comment. Pretty cool, looked it up and it was an interesting read.
Greater than pretty cool until you breathe the dust.
Greater than until you breathe the dust. Then what should you stop doing?
The Pharaoh has spoken.
Pretty much anything to contribute to Putin's ultimate humiliation is a good thing in my book. Really destroy his legacy right at the end. I love to see it.
Funny thing is, he could have kept stealing from his country, kept buying European clothes and watches for millions, kept buying yachts, mansions and private islands. But no, he's barred from traveling to European countries, has lost Europe as a customer for his fossil fuel and natural gas, has tanked his country's economy and killed plus 50k, so far, of his population in a stupid land grab. I'm sure he would have loved to go down in the history books as Putin the Perfect, but most will remember him as the embarrassing Putin the Pathetic.
Thanks to Putin, Europe transitioned away from fossil fuels, paving the way for countries to invest in nuclear green world. Putin, the greenest dictator to have ever died of botulism. Quote,
wishful thinking. I am afraid Germany will just switch to LNG and people will still be using gas boilers for decades to come instead of getting heat pumps.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.